All right. So, obviously, definitely room for improvement from last week. Definitely disappointing. Um, with Detroit coming in, they're a little bit banged up, but we got to make sure we take care of ourselves and play a better brand of ball than we played the last 2 weeks. Any questions?
We asked Thomas this yesterday, but what did you guys learn from the first time around against the Lions that can help you kind of have a better showing this time?
Yeah, I think we made some great adjustments at halftime. Last time, obviously, we've got to start faster than we did um, up there on Thanksgiving. I think they've got a great team. Obviously, you're gonna have to score points because they probably lead the league or are among the league leaders in points. So you can't dig yourself a hole. So we want to try to be aggressive, but at the same time, put our guys in position to do what they do best. We know what they do. They've got some personnel uh, issues over there, so we got to be able to figure that out quickly, and then move forward from there, and get our guys in a position to play fast at the start of the game.
Why do you think the execution isn't there to start the games?
I'm really not sure. I mean, if I knew the answer, it wouldn't be a question. I think as far as the coaching part of it, we've got to make sure that we have our best stuff early, that the script is where it needs to be, and we're putting these guys in a position to do all the things that they do fast, so there's no questioning or no second guessing or thinking about what they got to do assignment wise. We felt like we've done that, but we need to do a better job of it clearly.
This league is all about matchups. What's the key to in-game finding? They have a lot of subs in there, finding those weaknesses and attacking them.
Yeah, yeah, I think you're assessing everything, every play, every series. I think we've done a pretty good job of discussing in between series of how to attack different things. They've got a lot of moving parts, and we have too. At the same time, so we got to be able to adjust. Whether it's protection, whether it's routes or whatever it may be. Run game, whatever those adjustments need to be. According to how they play it. But at the end of the day, we got to worry about us. We got to play fast and do what we do best. And then, hopefully they got to adjust to us as much as we're trying to adjust to them.
At left tackle, is Karan better? Is he ahead of Larry Borum today as a player, or is that a case where you're hoping Karan grows into something?
Um, that's probably a good question. At the end of the day, the only way is to get out there and see, who can make those plays and who can make the blocks. I think it's one of those things. It's hard for a young guy first start in that environment. Um, with that noise to be able to get off on the snap. Those things were some issues clearly. So we're trying to clear those up. I don't know, at the end of the day, who's needs to be out there to start. I think we need to be able to adjust better to help whoever's out there. Um, whether it be Larry or Karan or Braxton or whoever ends up out there, we got to put them in a position to be better, more successful.
As a follow-up to that, do you think that was a good experience for Amagaji despite having struggled to put him in that spot? Will it have done him good down the road, so to speak?
All experiences are good experiences if you learn from them, and if you don't, then they're all bad. So I think at the end of the day, I think hopefully he's learned some things from it. The speed of the game, there's no simulating what it is on a Monday night or Sunday afternoon. So those things are adjustments for him. The first time really getting out there, like, and you're the guy. So I do think those things are beneficial because you have to get out there and experience it yourself. Um, and again, like we take full responsibility as coaches to put those guys in positions to be successful, and we've got to do a better job, and I've got to do a better job in my role in doing that. And that's at the end of the day, it ultimately falls on us putting those guys in positions to have a chance to be successful.
Coach, how much more difficult is that with so many people in their roles for the first time this late in the season?
It's hard, but I think that the biggest thing last week was Karan so late in the process. The game plan was already up, and we felt a certain way, and then you get kind of thrown a curveball right before the game. But at the end of the day, like I said, that's part of coaching, that's part of preparation, that's part of planning, and ultimately that's our responsibility. And so none of us shy from that. We take full account for it, and need to do a better job of putting those guys in the positions to do what they do well. But I think to your point, and really to yours as well, is every situation is its own situation. And so you got to learn from them, and hopefully these players do, and hopefully we are too.
All set.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, thank you.
Good afternoon. I'll take your questions.
Eric, you were very displeased with the performance against the 49ers. You'd said there was nothing close to what could be considered an acceptable performance. What did you think of this past Monday, the response to that?
Well, I'm going to start with the fact that we didn't win the football game. So everything that we do is measured in terms of the ultimate result, and that's having an opportunity to win. Additionally, I thought the response to some of the situations we were put in was really, really good. I thought we affected the quarterback. 13 points at halftime. It was a spirited performance. The guys competed. They were physical. We didn't allow any explosive plays in the first half. We kind of kept their receivers, the two explosive receivers, in check. However, we still gave up, I think, 21 points on penalties. So we have to make sure 21 points were related to penalties. So there were some really good things in the game. Obviously, Tyreek Stevenson intercepting the football in the red zone on 4th and 3, aided by the rush. Some really good things in the game, but we got to find a way to win.
Eric, Detroit has played one game outdoors. Does that matter? In the
It doesn't matter to us. It doesn't matter to us. That'd be a question for them. We got to find a way to line up and play our style of ball, play a complete football game, and not worry about things that don't really matter.
The Tyreek play that you mentioned, the interception, how realistic is it to expect him to have the mindset to bat that down in the interest of gaining more yardage, having the offense in a better position?
I like exactly what he did in that situation.
Eric, with Montez in his playing time, how much of that is just he's battling through a bunch of things as we know, and how much of it is just rotation?
We're just trying to find a way to utilize our rotation. We had, I think, 10 or 11 guys up, and the rotation really helped us. Daniel Hardy was key on the interception, getting pressure on the quarterback, and so we want to make sure that we can get as much as we can out of the rotation, especially a guy like Montez Sweat on 1st through 3rd down.
How dangerous is the Detroit offense relative to other teams that you played in terms of just being able to seemingly, even in the loss to Buffalo, they scored 42 points, just seemingly be able to run it up whenever they want?
Yeah, they're very good running the football, very good on 1st and 2nd down, and their rushing attack really keys the entire offense. It allows the quarterback to set up play action. They do an excellent job with that, so it's going to be critical for us. We did not defend the run extremely well the first time we played them on Thanksgiving, and we have to flip that around in favor of our defense. We have to make sure that we can control the amount of plays that we play and the amount of possessions that our offense is able to gain.
So how much of an advantage is it then with David Montgomery not being in this game? He obviously played against you guys on Thanksgiving.
Right. I don't see an advantage in that way. Whoever they line up at the running back position, we have to be ready to do a great job. The other tailback is averaging 6 yards a gain in their number one running concept, and that's the outside zone bounce play.
What do you guys feel like you did well, if anything, against Goff the first time around that can carry over to this game?
Well, in the particular in the second half of the game, I thought we limited their points. I thought we did a little bit better job of defending the run, being in the right positions for some of the play action stuff, and then getting off the field on 3rd down. I thought our 3rd down picked up in the second half.
Late in the game, Jalen had a tackle for loss. Is that the type of play that you kind of show the guys? Is obviously it's a tough situation when you're late in the game and the score is what it is, but he's still able to kind of make a play like that.
Yeah, that's what I expect, and that's what the men and the players expect from themselves. We compete regardless of the circumstances, and we're going to compete and do everything we can to do the things that are required and the things that to kind of define who we are as men on every single snap.
obviously the results haven't been there the last 2 weeks, but do you feel like there's still full effort from all of your guys?
I didn't understand.
Do you feel like your guys are still giving their full effort?
Without question. Without question. I think the first half of the ball game last week on Monday night, um, I was pleased with the physicality, the effort. Some of the plays that we made were in the interest of being in the right position and just executing. And so I'll never question that. I have no reason to question that.
Some of the key penalties you mentioned, when you said 21 points off penalty, you're saying 3 of their touchdown drives, a defensive penalty was critical to them being able to do that?
Sure.
Anyway.
And I'll go back to the second. I mean, interference penalty in the end zone. I mean, the ball's on the 1 yard line. Yeah. And so, as much as I appreciate the position that Reek was in and the pressure that we got from Montez, we have to make sure that we do a good job of collecting the football but not fouling in that position. Don't leave no doubt in terms of the officials' ability to interpret what's going on in that position. And then, and one of them was just, KB, Bayard. It's just, we're off the field on third down. Great break, got there a little bit earlier, and the drive extended. And they were able to score. So at least 14 of those of points came off of penalties, and we just have to find a way to play cleaner.
How have you evaluated yourself the last 2 weeks as play caller? You stepped in unexpectedly. You've had 2 games.
I'm not evaluating myself. I'm getting ready to do everything I can from my role to help our defense to win the football game. I'm not evaluating myself. I need to do everything I possibly can. I need to make sure I help the players and inform the players so we can go out and put forth the kind of effort we need to win.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
What's up, Jay? How you doing? Go ahead, fire away.
Coach, on the block punt you guys got, looked like you kind of had some exotic stuff going on the other side and a stunt. Did you feel like that helped cause some of the confusion that allowed Don Rob to go free?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's an excellent job by the punt return team. Obviously, kudos to Dom doing an outstanding job, staying locked in, staying focused the whole time. He rarely has had a chance to be up, but, he was up. And it just goes to show you how locked in and how focused he was and maximum effort on that play, getting that block punt, which is a huge play in the football game. I did feel like the movement with T. Moore and Jonathan Owens helped out with that as well. But it just speaks to one guy in the group, and really the whole group is that way. They're locked in and they're ready for their moment to make game-changing plays, and that's what I see in my room. I see guys like Dom that are intentional about their work and going in and making a play. And there's 2 other points I like to make in regards to that play because everybody sees Dom and I come up here and speak, but Coach Polk did an outstanding job with that rush. That's a rush that he really loved that we've had up from Minnesota. So he does a really good job and I think deserves to be a coordinator in this league. Another person that was involved in that was Eamon. Eamon was calling for that block and wanted it for a while now and felt like the time was right, and I felt like the time was right as well, but just all of us working together and Eamon not even having a chance to block it, but doing it for his teammates. He was key on that play too, of making that guard block down on it. So just a great team effort and a really huge play, and just happy for Dom. Really thrilled for him that it worked out that way for him.
What does it say about Dom that, as you said, he hasn't been out there? I'm sure he's been practicing it a lot, but for him to take advantage of the few snaps that he gets to come through in that spot for you?
Yeah, I mean, it just says that he's an outstanding listener in meetings. It says that he takes the drills to the field, and it also says that the character type of person he is and the intent and the focus that he has locked in. And it's and not just Dom, it's all of them. Like Blackwell having an opportunity to step in for D. Carter. We lost Homer for an extended amount of time. J.O. had to step in at the PP and play there. We lost Jalen Jones. So then T. Moore steps up and plays gunner. We lose J.O. to starting safety. all right, and Elijah. So Adrian Colbert steps in, locked in, ready for his opportunity. So it's just that's what I see in my room throughout, and we just got to keep them going like that. Blackwell had a huge return in the game that's obviously was negated, but every time he's touched the football, something might happen. So we got to be prepared this week. We're going against a really good unit. Detroit's an outstanding unit. I thought Minnesota was a phenomenal unit. Uh, and we just got to get our guys to rise to the level of 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 the challenge because these guys are really good on special teams. They're one of the top teams in the league, if not the top team in the league on teams.
Does Cairo kick when you guys have walkthroughs? Did he kick yesterday and today?
He did not kick yesterday. He kicked today. Yeah. So I usually give those guys 2 days after a game for their bodies to get back to back to feeling better. And it depends on who the player is, but I'd like to do 2 days with Cairo. It depends on years of service, all that type of stuff. But we did kick today, and he did a nice job today.
Expect anything out of the ordinary you're planning for as far as the conditions with Sunday? And do you have any sense of what the field itself, what condition that's in for Sunday?
Yeah, just normal conditions that we're used to, Obviously, it's going to be cold, which we like. It's going to be opportunities for special teams to make plays, which we like. It's a part of Chicago. It's a part of Chicago football, special teams, and we practiced outside because of that and kicked outside because of that. Like last week, we kicked inside because we were playing inside. So I try to get them in the elements that they're going to be in. That especially helps guys like Torrey. Like Torrey's playing outstanding right now. So I'm encouraged by what's going on with him. The last couple of games he's been playing, I'm just excited to see him and the rest of the unit get in front of the fans and play at home. So we're excited for that, and I want to see Torrey perform in these elements if he's called upon.
Just curious, the guys coming in and out, depth, that's the name of the game that you're dealing with,
Yep.
especially this time of year. What are you looking for, especially from a guy like Dom Robb, I guess, who, has been inactive? What are you looking for with the limited practice reps you have during the season? You're far removed from training camp where you have more reps, where you're like, I know this guy's still locked in, that this is a spot for him, when he gets his opportunity.
Yeah, guys like him, I'm just looking for guys of high character, men of high character. It's easy when you can stand in comfort and convenience. We know we're dealing in adversity right now. So the true test of a man and the true test of character is how you respond in adversity, i.e. us down in the fourth quarter in Minnesota. He blocks a punt. I.e. last time we played Minnesota, down in the ball game, D. Carter had some adversity, hit his leg, 55-yard return. T. Moore makes a tackle on a 50-yard bomb that Torrey hits in that game. The other play, Cairo responding, right, to send us to overtime. In adversity, how do you deal with getting their own side kick? In the fourth quarter, how do you respond? So to me, guys like Dom Robinson, what we're trying to build in our room, guys that step up to the level of challenge when needed most. When you get punched in the face, how do you respond? And that's what we want to continue to do on special teams for the team, set up the offense, set up the defense, and be men of high character even through adversity. We want growth. We want growth through adversity.
Thank you guys.
All right, thank you all.